Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this one we're going to cook 2 ribeyes. One is 7 pounds, one is 9 pounds. It's a little tricky to get them done at the same time, but I'll show you how I do it anyway. Right now I'm just rinsing them off. They're room temperature. We buy these at Publix. They run them on sale once a year. We buy about 8 of them, or really as many as will fit in the freezer. And once they're defrosted, I rinse them off, and then I'm just checking to make sure that they're uniform in shape. I must have trimmed these before I froze them, because usually you have to cut a triangular wedge off of one side to get them to be even, and then we just use that for, you know, chopped meat of some sort. Anyway, once they're rinsed, I will coat them with olive oil, or actually I think I'm using avocado oil. Yeah, that's definitely avocado oil. And then 2 types of seasoning, Wild Fork and Montreal steak seasoning. You can really just use whatever you want. I use both because Montreal has the salt that I'm looking for, and the Wild Fork I think has a better flavor. Anyway, once they're coated, and I coat them really, really heavy. They're so thick, you really can't overdo the seasoning. The end pieces get a little intense for me, but some people like them. I load them onto that rack that I made. In fact, I'll put the link right up here on making that rack, and then I wash everything really good. My wife comes in behind me here and makes vegetables and stuff, so I just want to make sure everything's super clean, and using the sink as a place to apply your seasoning is really a great option for me anyway. I get the grill up to about 700 degrees, and then I stick them in there right in the middle. This rack has been fantastic. It's a grill grate. I believe it's a Kalamazoo grill grate that I got from Amazon. And then that's just a chafing dish, stainless steel pan under there. I fill it up with water, about 2 inches maybe. And then those little measuring cups are 304 stainless. They're fantastic.
Ciao.
I fill them up with water and put them on either side. And what I'm trying to do is create as much steam in there as possible. Those will start boiling. They boil throughout the entire cook, and then of course the bottom is boiling. These are dedicated for the grill. They get pretty burned and kind of tarnished around the outside, but they're exclusive for the grill. So anyway, once it cools down a bit after you put them in, back down to about 500 degrees, I turn that center burner almost down to low. I don't turn it off yet, but I turn it down to low, and you can see there's the 2 cups full of water, and of course that tray is full of water. Now that it's back up to 700 degrees, I go ahead and turn them. I turn them probably 4 or 5 times throughout the entire cook, and that's obviously just to compensate for whatever unevenness. Now I should have added water right here. I didn't realize that most of that water had boiled off. But anyway, now we're back down to about 500. And that is the temperature that I cook them at, and I check them every half hour. I think that's important to know, because every half hour seems to be a good time so that they're not burning, and if they are burning, you can adjust for that. This is a thermopen. It is, in my opinion, the best instant read thermometer you can get. And what I'm doing is pushing it all the way down into the bone on the bottom to see what my temperature is. I'm at about 90 on one and about 100 and 102 or something on the other one. And of course, Lacey is taking a little dip. And once I got that smaller one up to 120, I went ahead and took it off. And it actually sat out for about a half an hour while the other one got up to temperature, because of the problem with the size. One was 9 pounds, one was 7 pounds, like I mentioned, and there's just no way to cook them without pulling one off. So that one sat out for a good 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes while I cooked the other one, and there's no problem in doing that. It stays hot, it just sits there. You can cover it with some foil if you're worried about bugs or something, but it was no problem to just leave it out. You can see I really didn't have a very good grip on that, but all I'm doing is moving this one over to the middle, because it's going to sit in there for about 30 to 40 minutes longer, as I mentioned. You can see how it's gotten a little bit more toasty on the outside. And I bring them to about 115 to 120, no more than 120, because it's really amazing how much they continue to cook. You would never guess that they continue to cook by close to 10 degrees or more. And here's where I realized that there wasn't any water left in the pan. So I just loaded it back with water. Ideally, I would have realized that earlier, but I was able to correct that. Anyway, once the temperature came up on the other one, I put the first one back in because, as I mentioned, I took it off before it got to about 115, 120, and I think we're probably at like 118 right now. But as long as you pull them off before 120, in my opinion, you've got two end pieces that are, a little pink, and then you've got the middle, you got 4 good slices out of the middle that are all pretty rare. And it's just entirely by temperature. If you can't screw this up if you just monitor the temperature. If you like it a little bit more rare, pull it off at 115, between 110 and 115. If you like it really rare. If you like it pink cooked, red cooked, I guess, like that, this is just under 120, not over 120, I think is your best roll. I don't know if you caught that real quick there, but you can see there's some pieces that are pretty done. And this whole cook took about 2 hours. These middle pieces are rare pretty much all the way through. You can see, fantastic. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Please subscribe if you like this kind of random stuff. I post new, completely random videos all the time.